back to Mind Over Mana. Thanks so much for tuning in and supporting the channel. I want to offer up some wisdom I've plucked from a lot of places over the years as I talk about how to turn something that seems overwhelming into something that instead inspires you. And Magic is certainly a candidate for this. Thanks for subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and commenting below with your thoughts. Here we go. Many people who have been in a relationship for a while will admit at some point that they're frustrated or possibly disappointed by the person that they've chosen to share their time with. Whoa, heavy opening line, stick with me though. If that same person is pressed for details, they'll have no difficulty coming up with a list of things that upset them, right? They don't share my outlook on life, we don't have the same values, they do the same stuff over and over again, I feel less important than I used to, etc. Have you been here before? Has this happened to you recently? Yes. Now, despite all of that, the same person is able to take a breath and focus on the bigger picture. They remember why they got involved in the first place. They then feel a spark. They're motivated to try and course correct things a little bit. Any relationship, whether friend, romantic, business, or otherwise, needs active participation to not only survive, but to thrive. The farmers near my home have a common saying you'll hear elsewhere, I'm sure, and that is, you grow where you're planted. The situation that you commit to becomes the soil of your soul, so to speak. It is up to you to maintain it so that whatever is planted within it, you not only grow, but thrive. So in that regard, it's difficult to explain why you might choose to stay committed to something when it gets complicated. We tend to do so by stepping back, taking a breath, and asking really fundamental questions, taking a mental inventory, so to speak. Reason hopefully prevails, and ideally, you decide to plant yourself in the best situation possible. To someone who hasn't processed everything you just have, it can be tough to comprehend. Having said that, where am I going with this? Well, speaking of complicated things, try to explain Magic to someone who's never seen it before, to someone who's never seen a game before. Then try and explain why you buy plastic-wrapped boxes of plastic-wrapped cards in varying quantities to store away like nuts from a squirrel. They'll question that. Then you'll question that. Wait, what am I doing here? Where is this going? I don't feel the same way I used to. And Magic isn't treating me the way it used to all of a sudden. I'm suddenly feeling like I'm in a relationship I can't explain. This is bound to happen. And that's not only healthy, but it's important. We question and critique things that matter because obviously we think they're worth time and thought in the first place. And at this point, it can help to be really reductive about something when questioning it, whether it's a relationship, a job, a hobby, so on. So, back to our Magic scenario. I can tell you that I've been that doubtful person many, many times over the decades I've been enjoying the game. My favorite thing to do outside of simply opening cards and playing the game itself is buying sealed booster boxes to open or sell years later. That's it. But at some point, I'm of course going to say, wait, why am I doing this? What's my end goal? Is it worth it? No one will answer this for me, and that can make it hard sometimes to carry on when I'm feeling doubtful. And these days, it's easy to see why some folks have a negative outlook on Magic. There's way too much product being sent our way, things are getting more expensive, the value proposition is questionable sometimes, and when we do buy things, they plummet in price with no guarantee as to when they'll recover. So at this point, take one more comparison from me. Think about the last time you were late for something. This is a great example to me of situational acceptance and mental liberation. When you're late for something in the morning, say class at school or the start of your workday, you scramble trying to get ready to leave on time, you set an alarm, you get dressed, you make sure you bought groceries so you can eat something, you pack up, get your keys or your transit card, whatever you use, and then you get stuck by something out of your control. A traffic jam, a subway backup, you name it. You and your route to work or school had an understanding before this, right? I get ready to leave on time and you let me get to where I'm going, okay? Well, in this case, that might not be happening today. You instantly question the good decisions you made just prior. Did I get up early enough? Did I have everything I needed, food, laundry, squared away so I could leave on time? Did I put my wallet and my phone where I could find them? Should I have taken this train or the other one now that I'm stuck? Should I have taken the back road or the highway now that there's a traffic jam? Your head is swimming with all of these questions, and you doubt yourself until you ask one very important one. Okay, I'm late. I'm not getting in on time. Now what? Now what? Suddenly, a very complex situation full of variables gets reduced to a simple decision, and that decision's often a choice about attitude rather than actual actions. You're saying, now what? What am I going to do? I'm instantly, in 2 words, accepting the situation and requiring myself to declare how I'm going to move forward. I'm going to be late, so I can panic or accept it. The market is scary, but this happens all the time. Once you accept it, all of a sudden the burden of everything else you were just processing, none of it matters because you've moved past it. And look at what happens. You're free to start processing other things. I really truly believe that the mind is a vessel, and while it doesn't like being empty, it can also only hold but so much. If you've decided to buy a bit of sealed magic product over the years, and you're a bit stirred by the amount of stuff being produced and the nerve-wracking price drops that most products see, then ask yourself this: now what? Well, I'll tell you, you've got a good head on your shoulders, and every day gives you insight into how the market wheels turn in a game like Magic. By understanding when to buy and when to sell, you can make sound decisions. By following the mantra of only buying what you love holding in your hand, you'll never feel bad about what it is that you own. By setting limits, you'll spend only what you can afford when you can afford it. And by understanding all of this, the market, the practice of buying Magic sealed product, it won't scare you any more than it needs to. When the going gets tough, try asking yourself, now what? You may be pleasantly surprised by your answer. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you watching the video. If you enjoyed this and you want to support the channel, comment, like, consider subscribing. I've got a lot more to talk about in the days to come, so until then, take care.